Good morning there, my friends. My name is Rabbit. I am feelin' feisty, and welcome to episode 114 of our 100% item guide and walkthrough for Legend of Legaia. So in our previous episode, we were able to achieve the full potential and sort of that peak point for each of our Ra-Seru by visiting with various Genesis trees. For Noah and Gala, they were the Genesis trees where our humans sort of interacted with the Ra-Seru for the very first time. But unfortunately for Vaughn, since Room Elm is not quite in a healthy state, we had to sort of rely on the substitute of Soul's Ra-Seru tree, or Genesis tree I should call it, for Maida to achieve his peak potential as well. So once we were able to successfully accomplish that, we saw that each of our Ra-Seru then gained access to a summonable spell or a summonable state. So we will be kickstarting this episode by looking at each of our three Ra-Seru and what they look like in battle. But do not forget that also in our last episode, we went back to the West Voss Forest, which is where Songi encountered his first Ra-Seru, which sadly we know how that kind of turned out, where he ended up combining it with a Sim-Seru via terrible, unethical experiments. But we found a piece and a remnant of that Ra-Seru, and we were able to turn it into a dark talisman. So we will be sure to see that as well. But I'm fairly confident that just from this title alone, you guys are thinking, Rabbit, Juggernaut. Is there something else that we're going to be seeing as a summon in today's episode? Yes, you are correct, my friends. So let us go ahead and get started, and I will run you all through the details now that our technical recap is over. So I want you guys to think back a little bit to our confrontation with Court. Do you guys remember, once we had sort of removed that shield from around him, he did have a summon of his own. He brought in Juggernaut, and the spell, I believe, when it was utilized by Court was called Evil Seru Magic, and there was this cool little animation with Juggernaut's foot coming down, and then he did this little blast cannon, and it was cool, it was scary, but at the end of the day, we ended up taking out Court, so it wasn't something that we really talked about. Well, if you do recall that fight, or, if you go back and just watch the fight, because I did have Court summon that in our battle. I mean, and when I say I had him do it, I didn't tell him to do it, but we were lucky and he did cast it during the recorded fight. But whether you recall it or you look back on it or you saw it in your own playthrough, you probably saw that there was a little icon that displayed when Juggernaut did come onto the field. Very much like how there are icons around these other various Seru that our Ra-Seru managed to absorb for us to access throughout various battles. That was, in a sense, a bit of a pro tip or a bit of a hint that at some point, Juggernaut technically could find himself in your party as well as a Seru that you call onto the battlefield to assist you. Now, I'm going to very briefly run you through the three ways that you can gain access to Juggernaut. The three ways are way number one, which is the legitimate way. Way number two is still a legal way, at least regarding how I think many speedrunners would define it, where you can access him via an exploit in the game, but it doesn't require the manipulation of data through an outside tool or an outside source. And then method number three is just kind of like I was beginning to describe, where you manipulate your game save or your game state via an outside tool or item such as like a Game Shark or an action replay. So method number one, which is the 100% legal, no exploit way, you have to get everyone in your party to level 99 via the very grueling process of grinding. But I will say, we're at level 38 at around 47 hours. You could easily get to level 99 in about 85 hours if you just grind properly. So what I would just drop down right now as a hint for those of you who want to go down that way and down that path, I would recommend doing all of your grinding from this point forward in Rim Elm right now as it stands. So while it is essentially affected by Juggernaut's presence and in that disgusting parasitic form, you can fight various monsters within it to get a lot of XP, and to add to that, the pueras within Juggernaut Elm, if you want to kind of lovingly call it that, can drop, or basically you can steal via evil god icons, crimson books from them, and the crimson books increase the amount of XP you gain from battles. So that's the legitimate way that you would do it. You would get those crimson books on everyone in your party and just spend another 30 hours grinding in that biodome until everyone's at level 99. And then once you are at level 99, what you would do is take a Door of Wind and you would head on over to Ra-Seru, where you would then run into Ra-Seru's realm, or into his room. I think he's actually sitting on a throne right now. I don't know if he's in his bedroom. It doesn't matter. You just need to find Ra-Seru in his castle here at Ra-Seru, and then he'll kind of carry on about how you're so much stronger than he last remembered you. I mean, obviously you're level 99, which is no small undertaking, but he will acknowledge that you've worked really hard and essentially say that you are a better suited individual to have access to this specific power, and he'll give you a key which will allow you to enter that underground area where he was at one point using young maidens here in Ra-Seru to feed a very disgusting, growing new Juggernaut. So that brings us back to another memory where there was a Juggernaut that was underground here in Ra-Seru, but when we removed Ra-Seru's Sim-Seru, he of course realized that what he was doing was unethical and just absolutely horrendous for any human being to be participating in. So he removed Juggernaut from existence, at least this one. Obviously, Court's Juggernaut still exists, and it is now a part of Rim Elm itself. So that is the legal way that you do it. Let's just skip to way number 3, which is the completely hackney method of using a Game Shark or Action Replay. You can just look up online what code you would need to enter in that, and basically what it will do is just make everyone in your party be at level 99, and then you can do what I've already described, which is run and see Ra-Seru, and he'll give you the key. You'll go downstairs and you will get Juggernaut basically. So what about that middle ground method, that method number 2, which is still technically legal, but it's not technically legitimate because you're not getting level 99. However, you're not manipulating the game using an external device. So this was a method that was discovered by, I believe the user's name was Xtrance. This happened roughly 2 years ago on the Legend of Legaia.net forum, and I can't remember if this was discovered because speedrunners were trying to find a way to make the game, progress a little bit faster, or for you to progress through it faster without altering the data of the game itself. I don't remember what led or prompted people to actually tinker with this, but Xtrance is whom I think is the source of discovering this first. Since then, since it has been about 2 years now, other people have tinkered with it a little bit and maybe thought of a more efficient way of doing this, but this is all you have to do, at least the Xtrance method. You need to position yourself either on the left-hand side or the right-hand side of these guards, because again, keep in mind, they will not let you enter. They will say, I apologize, but this room has been sealed under orders of Seru, but you want to basically keep running up and down and kind of spamming your X button, and at some point, oops, I did not mean to even do that. At some point, they will let us through. You just have to keep on keeping on, essentially. And I don't want to keep you guys here for too long, but let's see if I can get in here in another minute or two. Usually it can take anywhere from 3 to 10 minutes. I have done this once before, so I know it is doable. And I believe Xtrance himself even released a video kind of detailing how he first discovered it, or how he at least confirmed the consistent way of doing it. Like I noted, other people have since then come up with their own specific ways. I don't know, you probably have to be standing on a specific pixel and spamming your X button a specific way, but this is the way I saw it done. So let's just keep on doing it. I'm not going to talk as much because I want to focus on trying to get past. Let's see if I can make it happen. There we go. Perfect. And it didn't take that much time to get it to work. Woo! So there you go, guys. I will cut out, like, it took me, I'd say maybe 2 minutes, which isn't that long, but I mean, I guess if you're just literally running up and down and spamming the X button, 2 minutes can feel like quite a long time to be attempting to trigger this exploit. So again, shout outs to, I believe the name of the person who first identified it is Xtrance from Legend of Legaia.net. But this is how you can quickly and easily and technically in a legal way acquire a very special summon that otherwise you'd either have to utilize some sort of outside device to access, or you will be tasked with spending an additional 30 some hours to hit level 99 to get the key to come down here. So if we open up the chest here at the end, we will acquire an evil talisman. Very spooky. And you can even take a minute and look over here. And yeah, there's no Juggernaut present. So I'm not sure why Ra-Seru thought to go ahead and convert Juggernaut into a talisman. I mean, I guess it's a way to still harness the power of this beast that he spent time creating. I don't know. Still feels off to me, but who am I to judge? Who am I to judge? So what we will go ahead and do is we'll run outside. I will slap this onto someone in our party, as well as Songy's old Seru. And we will start off by seeing these two equipable Ra-Seru summons, or I guess in Juggernaut's case, he is a Sim-Seru. And then we will round out this episode with 3 fights where we will witness, you guys don't suspect a thing, where we will witness our actual Ra-Seru in their summonable forms on the battlefield. So let's go ahead and make a mad dash for the outside. Keep in mind that here in Ra-Seru, you can sleep for free at the inn. So if you want to go out and summon one to check it out, you can run back in here and bring your party's mana back up to speed. I'll do all of that without you. I know we're going to have this episode probably be around 20 minutes, so I will not drag it out any longer than is necessary. So we'll see one fight, I'll cut, we'll see the other one, then I'll cut, etc., etc. For a total of 5 Seru that we need to check out here. So let's go ahead and get to equipping. So we'll remove the evil god icon, and I will go ahead and have Vaughn do the honors of equipping the evil talisman. The description says that it grants low encounter, which decreases encounter rate. So it's interesting. No mention of any special powers. Fascinating, fascinating. And we will come down just for funsies and have Gala be the one to do the honors of wearing his former frenemy, Songy's Ra-Seru. So with the dark talisman and evil talismans equipped, well, since our encounter rate is decreased a little bit, we'll see how long this is going to take. Hopefully not too long. We'll give it a minute to get its life together. Come on, baby. Give us a fight. I'm ready to get this party started. Although, I'm not sure how the Ra-Seru feel about it. You know, thinking about it, I wonder, what does Songy's old Ra-Seru even think or feel? I mean, technically it was combined with a Sim-Seru, so it's like a Ra-Sim-Seru. So does it have the same level of sentience and awareness as do Maida, Terra, and Ozma? Who knows? But anyway, we will also summon evil Seru magic, which I noted that we have seen Court use, so the spell animation itself will not be too impressive. We've witnessed it before during this playthrough, except during that time it was Court who had control over this being's presence. But I guess you could look at it as Court had access to the real and full Juggernaut, whereas this one we're using is sort of the baby that was a work in progress here underneath Ra-Seru itself. But the spell animation still looks the same. So Court's not going to be happy. He's not the only one with a Juggernaut anymore. Be jelly, be mad. And that, my friends, was Juggernaut. Beautiful, right? Well, with that being seen, I'll bring you guys right back where we'll be ready to see what Songy's Ra-Seru Ra-Seru. I'm not sure what we should even call it, but we will see what he looks like on the battlefield in just a moment. Alrighty, welcome back, my loves. So we can go ahead and spirit with our first two, and if we scroll on over here to Maida's magic, we'll see that the name of this poor Ra-Seru that fell into the hands of evil was Jeddo. He casts Deadly Promise, which attacks all enemies. So let's go ahead and see Jeddo in action. Will absolutely be overkill, but what can you do? I do feel bad for Jeddo, and it just makes you think, what if we had found him before Songi, you know? Would his life have been able to have been used for good as opposed to bad? And I'm honestly not sure if this is what Jeddo genuinely would have looked like, or if this is the result of a bad merging with a Sim-Seru. I truly do not know, and we're not going to receive any additional insight as to what state Jeddo's in right now. But I guess at least we can rest assured that whether he's fully aware of what's going on or not, he's in good hands now. But there we go, Deadly Promise. Too bad he didn't utilize these powers against Songi. Could have saved us a lot of heartache and a lot of time. But there you go. There was Jeddo. So give me just a moment, my friends, and we will be cued and ready to rock and roll with Maida first in tow as our Ra-Seru summonables. Alrighty, we are back with fight number 3, and we are ready to check out all of our Ra-Seru, which is honestly what I was waiting for. So we're going to kickstart everything with Maida, then we'll see Terra, and we'll end with Ozma, which you guys already know I've been looking forward to for so long, because it's so cool to get to see your Ra-Seru in this different form, as opposed to only being a crystallized substance along the arms of each party member. Which, speaking of which, and why I'm waiting, do you guys see what Terra looks like now? Do you see where Maida is and what Ozma looks like? They're pretty much all the way up to our shoulders now. So I just have always loved this point in the game when we can see them in a completely new light and in a new form. So I will allow Maida to enter the stage here. He just looks so fucking cool. Maida, why so fabulous? Oh, it's over for them. Check it out. If this didn't scare the fuck out of you, nothing will. It's a done deal. Bye. Ooh, gives me goosebumps. I remember the first time I saw, oh, and Maida went up a level. Holler. But I remember the first time that I saw that, I just got goosebumps because it was like, oh, Maida, you're so powerful. But okay, give me just a sec and we will see Terra next. It's Terra's time to shine. Let's summon her into battle. It was nice that Noah got a level out of that too. So I suppose all of our efforts are not in vain. We're getting something out of all of this backtracking. But here she is. Oh, she's so beautiful. Hers is a little underwhelming, I feel like, compared to Maida's, but that's all right with me. Very trippy, though. Kind of reminds me of Iota a little bit. I've shared with you guys before that I think Iota is definitely like the stoner Seru. Do you guys even remember what Iota looks like? Very weird. And Terra's, I think, is pretty weird also. But hey, that was it. So we've got one more to check out, and I will bring you back when Ozma's ready to rock and roll. Okay, our final fight is nigh. Let's wrap all of this up by seeing Ozma on the battlefield. I think Maida is honestly my favorite in terms of being a summonable being. I don't know, Terra looks really cool. I like her design, but her spell was, I wasn't super impressed. Ozma's pretty baller too, but I think Maida just is so commanding and powerful. It's weird thinking about our Ra-Seru like this though, isn't it? Voltagor. Go Ozma. I don't know why, but because Ozma is I guess you'd say the youngest of our Ra-Seru, and he's the lowest level out of all of them. I don't know, I always just envisioned kind of a baby-like being, but clearly he's no squirt. But all right, my friends, let us go ahead and conclude this, I guess you could say, Ra-Seru and Sim-Seru showcase, if you will. I mean, we saw Songy's Ra-Seru Jeddo, we saw our 3 Ra-Seru, and then we saw what should only be acquired at level 99, the Sim-Seru Juggernaut. So with all of that out of the way, when we come back together in episode 115, we're going to be ready to begin making our way through the Juggernaut version of Rim Elm and picking up some of the loot there. Then we'll worry about which of the final sets of secret things I want us to tackle in what order. So either way you slice it, we've still got quite a bit of stuff left to do and things left to discover. So I can't wait for us to continue doing that together in our upcoming video. Thanks as always for watching. I am your host Rabbit, and this is my 100% item guide and walkthrough for Legend of Legaia. I'll see you very shortly, my friends.